He probably got a 7-minute video somewhere. Yeah.
I want those clients to know, not just me telling them, but them feeling it, that Ashley cared about my case, and the Brody Law Group cared, and the staff cared. They know when we
lovers.
I don't know.
But yeah, this video should be done, minimum by Wednesday. But I really wanted it to be done like Saturday.
Get your ass up, nigga.
Like, I ain't gonna count. Like, we should be straight. I think it's like somewhere like right here.
I might play the strong battlegrounds. Hell nah. Hell no.
Nigga playing in the bid 2025. Nigga playing mid.
Yeah. What wrong with Strongly Battleground? What wrong with that?
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Just something wrong with it.
You know, Daniel.
Bro, I'm not gonna cap, bro. This nigga been saying Daniel for the past 2 weeks, bro. Somebody's gotta pat this motherfucker up, bro. Damn, Daniel. And then he'll be saying it in ways that don't even make sense.
Barry and Claudette. Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at the original Friday the 13th, which was released in 1980 and spawned one of the most iconic franchises in the horror genre. With 12 movies, including one crossover and one reboot, the Friday the 13th series is most well known for its ghoulish goalie, Jason Voorhees. But as anyone who's seen Scream can tell you, the killer in the original film was not Jason, but was in fact his mother. See, Pamela Voorhees got pissed 20 years ago.
Tomorrow's stream gonna be short because I'm gonna be editing. Tomorrow's stream, I'm gonna make a diss track on both these niggas, bro. I'm gonna make that shit on in stream, bro. I'm gonna drop a hard ass diss track on Ellie's bitch ass, and I'm probably gonna put a Destiny bar in that motherfucker. I ain't gonna cap. I'm serious, fam. I'm finna make a diss track on both y'all niggas, bro.
Oh shit, he uses fucking ultimate and shit. Yo, I haven't played this game in a minute.
He not one of the one. He not one of the one.
How did Ella bake
How
her way
the
to the
fuck
top?
you get an ad watching a trailer?
One smart decision. She
Don't piss me off.
Where he at? Where his ass at?
Ago when camp counselors making Whoopi ignored Jason and got him drowned. So that's why she gets down to killing. And how much killing? Let's find out.
I don't think I've ever rewatched.
The intro of the movie takes place in
I don't think I've ever watched like this movie. Like I think I've only watched like maybe one Friday the 13th. I ain't never really watched like the original type shit. So, I mean, this should be interesting. I don't even remember how. Well, I think isn't the mom the killer in the first one, and then Jason's the killer in the second one.
58. You know, America's golden age, when jobs were plenty and the best form of foreplay was singing church songs at a summer camp. Sure gets these two kids worked up as they wander off to play a little cabin attic grab ass. It's these two giggling lovers, Barry and Claudette, who Pamela begins her vengeance with. But hey, since Jason drowned a full year prior to this, she's probably had a lot of time to think up some innovative kills, right? Nope, Barry gets stabbed in the gut below screen for the first kill of the franchise. Kind of a lame start to a movie known for gruesome kills. Looks like he just squeezed a tomato against his belly. After that, Pamela turns on Claudette. They play catch with some boxes before the film starts to lag or something. Oh, no, that's just shitty slow motion. A freeze frame signifies Claudette's death, the second of the film. Then it pushes in on the frame and flashes to white, meaning we just watched Claudette pass into the afterlife, I guess. Great, now we're in the present where creepy old dudes give really weird line readings.
You'll never come back again. Shut up, Ralph.
Yeah, shut up, Ralph. Not that this dude's much better. He's very obviously grabbing her ass, helping her into his truck, and I don't like the way he's looking at her there. But thankfully, all he does is give her a bunch of Crystal Lake backstory before dropping her off. Then we get to meet all the other counselors, including Kevin Bacon and his pals, who are seriously introduced with this music.
Damn! How much money this nigga got, bro? Let me see that net worth, bro. I gotta pocket watch every celebrity I come across. He got the bread. He got the bread. How much
feel like one of them should be playing a milk jug. They arrive at camp and meet camp owner Steve Christie, who probably oils himself up in front of a mirror every morning. I mean, look at him. Back to Annie Phillips, the teen who got harassed in town. She gets picked up by someone who listens silently while Annie talks about how awesome she is.
But when you've had a dream as long as I have, you'll do anything.
Then Annie freaks out and does a sweet somersault from the speeding vehicle, but still winds up as the third kill of the film with a pretty decent throat slit 22 minutes in. I'm using the unrated version here, so it's a few frames longer. You're welcome. After that, we have to sit through 20 more minutes of these shitty teenagers as they go swimming, do some cooking, and kill a really good-looking prop snake. Wait, oh no, I'm sorry. This is 1980 and this is a no-budget movie. That's a real fucking snake. That was an animal. They even run to Ralph, who's hanging out in their pantry for some reason. Maybe he was just trying to get a look at Alice's sweet Luke Skywalker cosplay. Nailed it. Finally, someone else dies. It's Ned, the trickster or whatever character, whose charming qualities include life-threatening gags, pretending to drown just to get a kiss,
all the kills are just, like,
and cultural appropriation.
Oh shit.
He wanders into a cabin and gets killed off screen, but his body shows up 40 minutes in. It happens while Kevin Bacon's character Jack gets his bang on with his girlfriend Marcy. Turns out Pamela put Ned in Jack's upper bunk. Classic camp prank. Kevin Bacon's gonna see his body and be like, dude, quit cock blocking. But actually, Bacon doesn't see it, so instead of Ned's body, sexy times is cut short by a full bladder when Marcy leaves to pee. Jack takes the opportunity to smoke a joint, getting relaxed long enough for Pamela to grab his head and stick an arrow through his neck from below. It's a very iconic death, but I always laugh at the mental image of Pamela sliding her way under the bed just to be able to do this. Whatever, ignore the logistics and just enjoy this death again. Good stuff, Tom Savini. Then we get 2 straight minutes of the Marcy Standler underpants party before she joins the Vic List with an axe to the head. Another truly fantastic kill. Where was this kind of makeup for those first 2 kills, guys? Meanwhile, there's been a game of strip Monopoly going on between Brenda, Bill, and Alice, but it gets shut down by Mother Nature. And where was Steve? Probably oiling himself up in the other room, right? Nah, he's back in town eating pancakes or something. Stuck in a diner because it's raining, or someone is just spraying a hose back and forth on that car, but let's pretend it's raining. Despite the stormy weather, Brenda gets lured outside by a creepy voice. Yeah, that'll break your reading concentration. She wanders outside and ends up looking like a creepy wet porcelain doll on the archery range. A cutaway in a screen means she's probably getting killed, but we'll wait for confirmation before we add her to the kill count. Don't worry, we get an on-screen kill soon enough when Steve Christie heads back to camp and gets stabbed below screen? What? What the hell, Friday the 13th? I thought we were in for some gruesome kills. I mean, I understand the first 2, you wanted to set a false sense of security or whatever, but come on, Body Oil Steve was just asking for a gruesome kill. At this point, it's down to final girl Alice Hardy and her kinda but not really love interest Bill Brown. They separate, but they're reunited when Alice opens the door and finds Billy Boy pinned to the door with arrows. I don't know if he got shot against that door or if he was killed and then pinned up to it like a list of grievances, but either way, it's a memorable kill. Then, for whatever reason, Mrs. Voorhees chucks Brenda's body through the window like a brick with a warning on it. She's got like...
Bro, he doesn't explain lore in the earlier videos, does he? Because I know, I was reading some comments, like, originally. I think in, like, his first couple videos, like, or at least this is literally the first video that's on the channel. So it's not, he doesn't get confident too yet. But I know, because I watch a lot of Dead Meat now. But now, it's like he gives you the lore now, and he gives you the detail with when it comes to filmmaking. And then he gives you the kills, obviously. And he also counts the other stuff. But so he gives you all the bases in the new episodes. The first ones, which I guess he did just start, so it makes sense. But like, he doesn't tell you that. So why is she doing this shit, bro? Like, I don't remember anything about that. I remember something with a lake with Jason. I don't remember anything else.
Holes in her and a rope around her? I don't know. I'm honestly just distracted by the actress moving around there. It's after all this that Alice finally meets Mrs. Voorhees face to face.
Well, I'm Mrs. Voorhees.
Pamela gives the whole spiel about irresponsible camp counselors and such, and then a 10-minute chase ensues, complete with Chinatown-like slapping, extreme close-ups on Betsy Palmer's teeth, and a full-on hit to the crotch. Ouch. It all comes to a head on the beach when Alice picks up the machete, charges at Mrs. Voorhees full speed, and straight up decapitates her. It's another iconic...
I mean, probably, but we'd have to probably watch the second part to know, because I genuinely don't remember nothing.
Kill in a movie with plenty of them, and the hands in the air gesturing, "Why, God, why?" are just the cherry on top. After that, the movie seems finished, but we get one last scare in the infamous Jason boat grab, where he pops up from the lake and pulls Alice out of the boat. Turns out to be just a dream, though, so don't worry, it's not like they take that scene and formulate 11 more movies around it. I'm lying, they did. But right now we're still focused on the first movie, so let's break this shit down and do the numbers.
Bro, also, I gotta say, I love the background music in there. The intro music, the intro itself, the intro beat, like, oh my god, bro. The music in this.
Pamela Voorhees killed 9 people in Friday the 13th, 5 guys and 4 girls. She herself was killed by Alice, bringing the total kill count to 10, evenly split among genders, plus 1 poor innocent snake. At a runtime of 95 minutes, that comes out to 1 human death about every 10 minutes. I'll give the Golden Chainsaw Award, which goes to the coolest kill of the movie, to the Baconator himself, Jack Burrell. Although Marcy's axe to the head was pretty cool. His death is just so iconic, and apparently it malfunctioned during their one take, so makeup assistant Tasso Stavrakis ended up having to blow the fake blood through a tube manually. That's dedication, dude. Conversely, the dull machete goes to the lamest kill of the movie. A lot of options here, what with all the off-screen stabbings, but that freeze frame on Claudette in the beginning takes the cake. And there you have it. Friday the 13th, released in 1980, the film that started it all. Next up, we'll be looking at Friday the 13th Part 2, where Jason gets to play, but until then, I'm James A. Janice. This has been The Kill Count. Hey guys, thanks a lot for watching the
Peak. I forget. Cause I think this is like, he started the channel with the whole series type thing. Alright, yeah, I think he covered all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, damn! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then that doesn't even count the ones that came after. Probably. Now this nigga was on a generational run. I ain't watching all of them today. We'll go to the final chapter and then call it a day.
Welcome to The Kill Count, where we tally up the kills in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're talking about Friday the 13th Part 2, released in 1981, just a year after the original. The first sequel in the series is the film that introduces Jason Voorhees as the killer, but don't get too excited just yet. He still hasn't found his hockey mask, so he stumbles around looking like a rejected Klansman most of the time. Seriously, look at that pillowcase. Dude looks straight out of that Jonah Hill scene in Django. As you can imagine, Jason's motivation is revenge for the death of his mother, whose motivation was revenge for the death of Jason, which sounds paradoxical, but fuck it, let's get down to the kills. Jason's first kill is Alice Hardy, the chick from the first film that beheaded his mom. We meet back up with her in bed as she moans through a montage of stuff from the first movie, just like wriggles back and forth dreaming about it. Sucks for her, but it's even worse for us, since this padding is a full 5 minutes long. She finally gets the hell out of bed and goes for her favorite midnight snack, rotting head of course, when Jason grabs her from behind and sticks an ice pick through her temple about 11 minutes in. Weird how at this point in my life, I've seen ice picks used more for murder than for picking ice. After her death, we smash cut to title card. Yeah, awesome. Blow that shit up, guys. Then we get some opening credits and then have to wait 20 minutes for another kill, which is way too long for a Friday the 13th movie in my opinion. In the meantime, we meet future Jason victims and I guess get to know them better, although there's not much to them. There's another horny couple, another goofball, another hot chick and pervy tail chaser, but at least there's some diversity with a few token minorities and Mark, a dude in a wheelchair who could totally kick Jason's ass in arm wrestling. Too bad this ain't over the top, buddy. Our preordained final girl is Ginny, who drives a shitty car and gets a little bit of backstory that'll come in handy later.
Use a little of that child psychology you're majoring in.
Remember that. She's assistant to and totally bang buddies with Paul, the camp manager. None of these delightful meatbags make for Jason's second kill though. That distinction goes to another character from the first film, Crazy Ralph. Remember the weird way he used to talk?
You'll never come back again.
Maybe he's gotten better.
They didn't believe me.
Nope.
He's still here. Why is he still alive? Why is he still here? Ban this nigga, bro. Also, I gotta figure out how to ban niggas. Like, I literally can't. No. No. Oh, here we go. Ban that nigga, bro. Alright, here we go. Do your job, moderator. Oh. Never mind.
While he's peeping in on Paul and Ginny, Jason garrots him against a tree. Looks like you're the one who's never thought bang buddies with Paul. None of these delightful meat bags make for Jason's second kill, though. That distinction goes to another character from the first film, Crazy Ralph. Remember the weird way he used to talk?
You'll never come back again.
Maybe he's gotten better.
They didn't believe me.
Nope. While he's peeping in on Paul and Ginny, Jason garrots him against a tree. Looks like you're the one who's never coming back again. Huh, Ralph? After sexy swim times and woodsy grab ass, Officer Winslow becomes Jason's third victim nearly 45 minutes into the film. After bounding through the woods like so many majestic deer, he finds Jason's love shack, which is a little old place where you can get a hammer claw to the back of your head. Gotta love the guy's display of teeth here. He's already ready to be a skull. Back at the camp, Paul, Ginny, and all the unnamed and minority characters head off to the town bar, leaving only victims behind. So the kills really start to pick up. Terry, the chick who gets fashion tips from Padme in Attack of the Clones, goes for a
like you don't question the previous counselors getting clapped. We don't question that at all. Like that wasn't on the news. Their families didn't say, "Oh wow, my daughter's been gone since the summer. She probably died at that summer." Nobody's questioning this shit. Like nobody. Like your son was gone, your daughter was gone. Nobody's questioning it. Nobody's heard of the whole little whatever this camp is called. Nobody's heard of anything, and the motherfuckers are gonna keep coming back year by year by year. Who is funding these niggas? Cause who is the camp director? Somebody killed that nigga, bro. What is he doing?
Dip and gets her clothes stolen by pervert Scott. He winds up in a tree.
And niggas want to get freaky everywhere they go in the fucking campfire. Like, is everybody hormones increased to the max? Like. They fucking this, fucking that. Naked this, naked that. And now this motherfucker finna get packed up by a kid.
Goddamn reason. And then becomes Jason's fourth kill after a classic machete throat slit.
Also, why is he killing these niggas? They didn't kill his mom. They ain't had nothing to do with that. You after the first kill, you killed the person that killed your mom. What do these niggas gotta do with anything, bro? You doing this shit for the love of the game. He's a fucking murderer.
Fix and hammer claws are great, Jason, but you can't forget your fundamentals. A little bit later, Terry comes to cut him down and presumably gets killed off screen, but my rule here is to not count the kill until we see the body, so onward we go. Now we're down to 4 horny kids alive at the camp, and not a one of them knows how to close a window. Sadly, the next one to go is chair-bound hunk Mark as he waits for Vicky to finish, preparing herself, I guess? Ew. From an angle that doesn't make any sense, since Mark would clearly see him, Jason swings the machete into Mark's face an hour into the film. Kinda got it lodged in there deep, huh, Jason? Better go get it back. Oh, wait, you can't, because Mark hilariously rolls backwards down an absurd amount of stairs that, like, where did those come from? The unintentional comedy of his death is capped off by a zoom in and a white flash. Jason heads back inside to interrupt a surprisingly PG-13 sex scene, which, fun fact, is that way because the actress was underage at the time. Ew. Anyway, he walks in and gets a 2-for-1, here on known as a twofer, when he impales Jeff and Sandra together through the bed with a spear in an homage to the film A Bay of Blood. The last teen for Jason to kill off is good-natured Vicky, who spent all her time in this movie very subtly hitting on Mark.
Want to take me on? I only want your fingers.
What do you want to play for?
Position.
Oh, I'm sorry, I meant not subtly at all. Worked out their way, she was totally gonna jump his bones before he got killed. She finds Jason and wakes him up from a nap, but he's all grumpy and stabs her in the stomach. Yeah, it's below screen like the lame kills from the first movie, but at least it has the stalkery POV shots that lead into it. Ginny then returns from the bar for the big final girl showdown. Jason chases her around a bunch, she goes WWE on him, by God! And then she winds up at his love shack, where she finds a creepy shrine to Pamela Voorhees, complete with rotting head. Oh, and hey look, it's Terry's body, just kind of laying there. No blood or marks? Is she even dead? Ginny should probably try to wake her up. Instead, Ginny uses that backstory of hers to put on Mommy's musty sweater and imitate Pamela, causing Jason to get all stupid and confused. Paul returns, and together they knock Jason down and swing a machete into his shoulder, leaving him for dead, until he crashes through the window.
Why would you not put the fucking machete on his dome, though, bro? You seen this, this is a kid doing all this shit. You swing that motherfucker. Bro, nah, bro. It could not be me. If I live that long, bro, and I get the chance to put that motherfucker in this, whatever the fuck this is, I'm frying his ass.
And the other half looks like Hillbilly Jim. If you dig the way he looks, sorry, he's never gonna look like this again, so enjoy all this slow motion they give us here. A white flash takes us to the end where Ginny's on a stretcher calling out Paul's name. Not gonna count Paul as a Vic since it's unconfirmed, so let's call it there and get to the numbers. Jason kills 9 people in Friday the 13th Part 2, 5 guys and 4 girls. Same as his mama did, but since he doesn't die in the end of this one, the film's total kill count is only 9, the lowest of the series. And with its 87-minute runtime, that leaves 1 human death every 9.6 minutes. I'm gonna give the golden chainsaw kill to Mark. And I know y'all gonna say the double impalement deserves it in the comments, but it's actually pretty tame thanks to the MPAA's insistence. And going backwards down all those stairs it's just the bee's knees, guys. I love it. Lamest kill is definitely Terry, who's apparently scared to death by the cameraman. No visible wounds on her body in Jason's creepy little mama temple at the end. She's just like dead. Cool. And that's it. Friday the 13th Part 2, released in 1981, actually less than a full year after the original. Next week we'll be looking at Friday the 13th Part 3, released in 3D, but not the good 3D that we have today. Until then, I'm James A. Janine.
3D. Which one is the best? Bro, I can't spell Friday for some reason. The 2009 was the best? The best movie doesn't include him? Arguably the best and most telling sequence of Friday the 13th series surprisingly does not include Jason Voorhees. The infamous mass murder of horny teenagers and dope smoking camp counselors in the Great Crystal Lake. Oh, which is the most well-directed and innovative movie. Not innovative. Innovative? It's not innovative. Whatever. Volume in the franchise. In stiff competition with the delirious, entertaining 6-part Jason Lives. Not that long. Man, so it's the final chapter. Wait. No. Okay. So this is this? Yeah, it's this. Cause we go down a little bit. There's no other. Yeah, all right. So the best one is the 4th one. Interesting.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we continue the Friday the 13th series with a look at Part 3, released in 1982 in glorious 3D. At this point, Paramount knew they had a formula for making money, so they didn't change anything that made the first 2 films such hits.
Sex. You guys are getting boring.
Except now it's all in 3D, so the filmmakers felt obligated to add a lot of gratuitous 3D shots. Like, a lot of really unnecessary, totally egregious 3D shots. Also of note is that this is the film in which Jason acquires his iconic hockey mask, so if you ever want to impress someone on a first date, you can drop the hot trivia knowledge that his mask was originally owned by a guy named Shelly.
Damn it, Shelly!
One interesting thing is that this takes place like the day after Part 2, with the events of that movie being reported on the news. Turns out that after his final confrontation with Ginny, Jason just dusted himself off and dragged himself to safety. He uses his near brush with death to go back to school and really make something of himself. Just kidding, he uses it to kill people. How many? Let's find out. Jason's first victims are a feuding couple who own an adorable little bunny rabbit. Harold is apparently so miserable that he eats fish food and drinks liquor on the toilet, so maybe Jason does him a favor when he kills him with a meat cleaver to the chest. I just love these kills where the victim doesn't even try to put their hands up or anything. Way to take it on the chin, Harold. Or in the chest, rather. His wife Edna hears the commotion and wanders outside to investigate, but we already know she's not the best detective in the world because she saw Jason in her backyard and mistook him for her husband. Maybe it's because Jason got rid of his luscious locks from Part 2. In any case, bald and beautiful, Jason quickly dispatches of Edna with a knitting needle through the back of her head. It even goes out through the front of her face and through his fingers, which I never noticed until recently. Harold and Edna serve as the traditional intro kills, and with them out of the way, we get to meet the teenagers we'll pretend to care about for the next 80 minutes. Instead of camp counselors, these teens are just a group of friends heading up to lead girl Chrissy's family home, which has the unfortunate name of Higgins Haven. Among Chrissy's entourage is a Latina, a stoner couple, that weird Shelly dude,
what do these
and
niggas
this
be
couple who
doing,
really
bro?
spices up the movie with this little piece of information.
No way, we're pregnant, remember?
Yeah, I don't know why they did that either. Maybe it's their attempt at diversity like wheelchair-bound Mark was in Part 2, because God forbid they have an actual black character. Oh, wait, what's that? Oh, cool, it's a black character. There's actually 2 of them here, and they're thugs. Damn it. Well, at least that dude's having a good time. Look at that smile. Never mind. Oh yeah, Chrissy also has this super hunky love interest named Rick. I'd buy a farm just to hire that guy to work on it. Yeah, you move that hay. The trio of thugs are the first of Jason's victims after all the boring plot shit. First to go is Fox after she wanders into the Higgins barn about 40 minutes into the movie. Her compadre Loco finds her with a pitchfork in her neck. I love the camera moving down to show her feet off the ground. It's a nice touch. Loco doesn't have much time to freak out since Jason comes out of nowhere and sticks a pitchfork through his gut and out the other side. Ouch. But at least Loco dies keeping his cigarette in, because smoking makes you look cool, kids, even with the pitchfork through your gut. Ali, the leader of the gang, goes and looks for his cronies, and after finding Loco's body, actually goes on the offensive against Jason, the first time that's happened in one of these movies. Unfortunately, he gets bitch slapped to the ground and punched a few times, but spoiler alert, he survives and he'll be back later. Then for a while, the teenagers do their teenager stuff. Sex is had, dope is smoked.
Heavy shit.
And Shelly does gags in poor taste, one of which leads to Jason's iconic look. Also, Chrissy keeps talking about some past traumatic event where Jason found her in the woods, and, well, we're not entirely sure.
I blacked out. I don't know what happened after that. I just don't know.
But I'm glad they didn't go too much deeper into it. An hour into the movie, things finally get moving. Jason acquires his mask and moseys on out to the dock where Vera sees him, thinking he's Shelly. How do people in this movie keep mistaking this gigantic mountain of a man-child for other people? She figures out that—
when does he get his iconic oh my god, bro. No, not his mask. What's the theme? No. What the fuck? What do you call it? When does he get his? I'm just gonna put theme, bro. Oh. Voorhees, obviously. Vorhose, wow. I don't know how to spell that shit. Oh, it's the second film. Why didn't we hear it then? No. Where? Yo, don't piss me off.
That is not Shelly, just in time for him to shoot a harpoon straight into her eye. Sucks for Shelly, who was trying to get with her, but you know that shit wasn't gonna happen anyway. Jason then very lackadaisically heads back to the house. His next pair of victims is going to be the couple, the dude of which, Andy, is also kind of like a Joker guy with Shelly. I don't know, lots of weird vaudeville acts going on in this movie. Good thing though, because it leads to one of the coolest deaths of the series when Jason swings a machete down between Andy's legs while he's in the middle of a handstand. It's even cooler when they show his body. I don't know how or why Jason stuck his body up there on that ceiling beam, but damn, does that look gruesome. Andy's blood drips onto Deb as she reads a Fangoria article that name-checks Tom Savini, whose work is promptly stolen when Deb is killed in the exact same way Kevin Bacon was in the original. Which really begs the question, was Kevin Bacon's character also pregnant at the time he was brutally murdered? Science says no, but go ahead and decide for yourself. With Jason in full-on murder mode, the corpses just pile up. First we see Shelly, who somehow survived an off-screen throat slit from back when Jason took his mask. He tries to get Chili to help him, but since he cried wolf earlier, she doesn't believe him and he dies on her doorstep. I guess she just thought he was really committed to the bit. She still thinks it's just a prank, bro, while her hippie boyfriend Chuck looks for the generator so he can pop some more 3D popcorn. Instead, he runs into Jason, who grabs him and throws him into a circuit box, causing an immediate electric explosion because that's what happens in Friday the 13th movies.
Did he get that kill in the same minute?
With Jason in full-on murder mode, the corpses just pile up. First we see Shelly, who somehow survived an off-screen throat slit from back when Jason took his mask. He tries to get Chili to help him, but since he cried wolf earlier, she doesn't believe him and he dies on her doorstep. I guess she just thought he was really committed to the bit.
She's fucking stupid.
She still thinks it's just a prank, bro, while her hippie boyfriend Chuck looks for the generator so he can pop some more 3D popcorn. Instead, he runs into Jason, who grabs him and throws him into a circuit box, causing an immediate electric explosion because that's what happens in Friday the 13th movies. We're gonna see a lot more immediate electric explosions going forward in this series, so just stay tuned. Chili finally realizes that Shelly is for reals dead and then delivers the worst stretch of acting out of the entire series.
It's like she has no like urgency. Like it's like she just walk. Like I feel like you wouldn't be. I feel like you'd be running around if that's what you found. Like you found. Like you just. I don't know who that was to her. Her friend. Like if you found that out, why would you be walking around? Why would you not be? I can act better than this shit.
Why are
I
you
can do
running
better
like
than
that?
this, bro.
I can't
Like,
believe
completely.
that it's so bad. It's so bad, guys. It's so bad. Jason finally sticks her in the gut with a hot fire poker, putting us all out of our misery and pushing the kill count into double digits. Chrissy and Rick return from the woods and realize something's wrong when they find an empty pot burning on the stove. Classic stoner move. They separate, real smart there guys, and it leads to what is hands down my favorite kill of the movie. In fact, I'm gonna give it both coolest and lamest kill at the end of this because it exists in between planes of quality. Jason kills boy toy Rick by squeezing his head. He squeezes his head to death, and look at it. Look at that fake head. How did audiences react to this in 1982? Were they not familiar with real heads? Did they mistake paper mache heads for real people? I don't know the answer to these questions, but I do know that Tom Savini had nothing to do with that visual effect. With all their friends dead, Chrissy is free to do what final girls do. It's pretty standard this time through, no fun psychology games like in part 2. Instead, she does the usual final girl victory tour of the people she's outlived, including a guy she's never seen before in her life, so whatever, you know? She fights back a couple of times, stabbing Jason in the leg, hitting him in the head with some wood, and dropping some heavy knowledge on him. Like literally, you know, books. Also, she even hangs him from the barn, which appears to work for a second before Jason pops back up to show her his face? What? Why put the mask back on? Whatever. Overall, nothing too special. Except, wait, oh shit, Ali's back, and there goes his hand. I don't know why they brought him back for literally less than 10 seconds of screen time, but it was a fun little surprise, I guess. While Jason's busy chopping up Ali, like really just going to town on him, Chrissy grabs an axe because she's strong like that and drives it into his head, giving his mask this iconic...
You telling me nobody else could do that? Like, none of the other people in none of the other movies could do that. I don't believe that.
Flash and causing him to zombie walk at her for a few paces before falling to the ground in defeat. Chrissy escapes onto a boat because even though it's only 3 movies deep, this series doesn't know how to write anything new. She wakes up and sees Jason still alive in what is seriously a creepy image of him peeking out of a window of the barn. He even comes out of the barn and runs at her without his mask. I forgot how much time Jason spends full on face out in this movie. But before you know it, he disappears, apparently a hallucination of Chrissy's. And then waterlogged zombie Mrs. Voorhees pops out of the lake and pulls Chrissy out of her boat, again directly ripping off the original, because I can't stress enough how repetitive these goddamn movies are. One more case in point, it all ends up being a dream. Damn, were these producers bereft of ideas. The law enforcement leaves Jason's body lying on the floor of the barn like any good police, and then boom, the movie's over. Let's go to the numbers.
These fucking
Jason kills 12 people in Friday the 13th Part 3. 7 guys and 5 girls. That's 2 more people than in Part 1, meaning this movie has the highest kill count of the series so far. At a runtime of 95 minutes, that's a kill less than every 8 minutes, which is also a bit more frequent than Parts 1 and 2. I already told you that both of my awards are going to Rick, and that wasn't hyperbole. Like, look at that thing. It's both awesome and awful at the same time. Like, it has some awe and is simultaneously filled with it. But that's it. Friday the 13th Part 3 was released in 1982 using a brand new 3D technology. Like literally, it was the first movie filmed using that tech. Kinda cool. Next week we'll be looking at Friday the 13th, the final chapter, which I don't know if you know this, isn't the final chapter. Until then, I'm James A. Janice. This has been The Kill Count.
Valid. Now they said this was the best one, so I'm expecting something different from this one. Alright, that's the last video.
Welcome to The Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we truck onward with another Friday the 13th, and this one's the final chapter, but not really. That's right, after failing to end the series with Part 3, Paramount stuck a subtitle on this one, so determined were they to disassociate themselves with the series. I don't know why exactly, it was still making them money, but I guess some suits don't want to be associated with moments like this. The final chapter is much like the previous 3 films in most regards, but it is notable for introducing Tommy Jarvis, played here by Corey Feldman, who's a cool little dorky kid who somehow is able to make professional-looking masks in his spare time. With his character, Jason finally gets a nemesis who isn't just the last remaining teenage girl. But don't worry, lots of teenage girls are still in this one, including the Doublemint twins, and plenty of gore too. So let's get to the kills.
He's not a kid anymore.
Just like Part 3, this film also takes place immediately after its predecessor, which gives us a big budget opening scene with helicopters and ambulances and a whole lot of extras. Looks like Jason's going out with a budget. We follow his body as it's taken to a hospital and checked in by a very pervy coroner.
Did you last? Got one more over there. Real cute girl. Was. Well, she still is.
Dude's name is Axel, and he inexplicably gets the cute nurse to hook up with him until Jason's hand causes him to recite a passionate sermon.
Jesus Christmas! Holy Jesus goddamn! Holy Jesus jumping Christmas shit!
After the nurse gets upset and leaves him alone with his aerobic porn, Jason surprises him with a bone saw to the neck. Then Jason grabs his head and fucking twists it around backwards.
Damn!
Tom Savini is back for this movie, and he wants the audience to know he means business. After that, Jason tracks down the nurse and chokeslams her against the wall before slitting her torso open with a scalpel. Anyway, you know the drill by now. 2 intro kills and then we meet the main characters. In this movie, it's the Jarvis family, who lives in a house on Crystal Lake. There's Mama Jarvis, Trish Jarvis, and of course, Fell Dog himself, Tommy Jarvis. Trish and Mama like jogs around the lake, while Tommy's into video games and making Henson-quality puppets. Moving next door to them for the summer is a group of very killable teenagers who pass Mrs. Voorhees' tombstone on their way, which is the first time the series revealed her full name. The kids also pass this hippie hitchhiker who you just have to see eat this banana for a long-ass time. Yeah, eat that banana. Make sure you chew it all, don't want no indigestion. Nice. Jason was never a fan of phallic fruits though, so he sticks a knife through the back of her neck, killing both her and the banana. Fun fact, Jason's legs in that shot were actually Tom Savini's. Even more fun fact, Tom also played the banana. Now seems like a good time to point out that one of the teens here is Crispin Glover, beloved father of Marty McFly and occasional rat enthusiast. In this movie, the running thing is that
I also don't understand why Jason kills anybody anyway. Fourth one.
Well,
they said this was the best one on the ranker, so.
A dead fuck?
No, it's true. His ratty-looking friend ran it through an imaginary computer and everything. The thing about Crispin and the other kids in this one is that they're not counselors or at an old family home. They're just kids going to a cabin looking to fuck.
God, I'm horny.
Bro.
And sure, that's true as well for the first 3 movies, but once you remove the pretext of other stuff, every scene with these kids is about getting it in. There's an extended skinny dipping scene where everyone but Glover gets naked, and then there's Tommy stumbling across it all and reacting exactly like I would if I saw this through my window when I was 8.
Okay. What the?
So yeah, the next 20 minutes is just hanging out with these horny kids who Mama Jarvis definitely don't approve of. Also, Trish meets Rob, a sexy hitchhiker who can fix cars and talk to your little brother like a total dreamboat. We finally get to more killing about 40 minutes in after Sam gets mad at Paul for flirting with Double Mint Tina. She leaves the sex party to go midnight skinny dipping alone, you know, as people do. But then Scuba Jason pops out of frickin' nowhere and stabs her through the front, causing her to create a hilarious death noise. I can't tell if she's dying or having a great time, but either way, I'm really happy the actress made that choice. Back at the Chateau de Hornitine, Paul feels bad and goes off to find Sam, leaving Double Mint Tina free to hook up with Crispin Glover, while Teddy gets shunned by Double Mint Harry after he uses the same shitty pickup line he tried on her sister.
That's a teddy bear. Wanna give Teddy Bear a kiss? Wanna give Teddy Bear a kiss?
Ew.
Also, because honestly, Teddy, you're being pretty rapey there, man. You shouldn't have to grab a girl's face that way to kiss her. Knock it off. Paul swims out to the raft and finds Sam's body before getting impaled in the crotch himself and lifted into the air. Then Jason pulls the harpoon gun trigger like that would do anything. I don't know what's going on there, but that is a sweet low-angle shot of a dude with a spear gun in his dick. Then we learn that Rob is Sandra's brother, which would be a pretty cool tie-in if anyone knew who the hell Sandra was. In case you didn't just watch all these movies in a row to make a YouTube series about them, Sandra is that totally forgettable chick from the second one. You know, the underage one whose sex scene they had to cut.
Okay,
now, I appreciate the movie's attempt to tie into some sort of mythos, but maybe start with having Jason look the same 2 movies in a row. Having doubly struck out, Teddy gets high and watches old-timey porn by himself. Upstairs, Double Mint Tina gets it in with Crispin Glover, causing Double Mint Terry to get upset. She's probably just jealous after seeing Glover's sweet dance moves. I mean, who wouldn't want to make babies with that guy? Those moves just scream vitality. Terry leaves to ride her bike home in a thunderstorm and gets speared by Jason during a lightning flash. They make sure to show us the body too, even though it was a pretty sweet off-screen death. Mrs. Jarvis, on the other hand, gets a super lame off-screen death when she wanders out into the rain and screams into the camera like it's Friday the 13th part friggin' 1 or something. They originally shot a scene with her body in a bathtub for the ending, but they cut it for whatever reason. Lame. Some more character shit happens after that. For instance, the virgin Sarah sleeps with a guy who is both the prettiest and least defined Jason victim yet. Also, in a moment of post-coital anxiety, Crispin finally faces his fears.
Wish I had dead fuck. What? Dead fuck.
Good thing he makes his peace, because when he goes to get some wine, Jason helps him find the corpse.
I never understood that, bro. Yeah, I know his motivation.
corkscrew by
This
placing it
motherfucker.
helpfully in his hand.
After
Then
killing,
places a
after killing that girl in the second movie, I don't know what this nigga got.
machete not so helpfully in his face. I love the little twitching he does as he dies. That's the Glover difference, right there. Doublemint Tina becomes a Doublemint detective after she sees both Doublemint bikes outside, even though Doublemint Terry had professed to leave. Unfortunately, before she can piece anything together with this new Doublemint knowledge, Jason grabs her from an unlikely place right outside the second-story window, and she gets Doublemint defenestrated in an awesome slow-motion shot right onto a car. We'll see Jason throw a lot of ladies to the death in the series, but none will be as sweet as this one. Teddy is finally put out of sad, lonely misery with a knife through the back of the head. The simple kill is elevated by the knife tearing a slit in the projector screen as he falls. That is art right there, people. Then Jason just has to clean up the last teen couple, so he barges in on Doug in the shower and smashes his head against the wall, straight up crushing it with his palm.
He doing this shit for no
Then
reason.
Sarah finds Doug's body and has an unnecessarily long sequence running around in a towel before Jason lodges an axe into her midsection. At least the towel stayed on, I guess. Wouldn't want to look at a naked corpse, would you?
Real cute girl. Was. Well, she still is.
Okay, calm down there, Axel. Now it's down to Trish, Tommy, and Rob. The older couple head over to the sex mansion and find a bunch of bodies. Then Jason grabs Rob in the basement and, well, I can't really tell what he's doing there. What's going on there, Rob?
Oh, it's kind of funny.
Oh, right, he's killing him. Thanks, Rob. Wasn't sure. Trish runs the now familiar Final Girl circuit, finding a whole bunch of bodies as Jason chases her back and forth between the two houses, even causing her to leap out a window. Lots of defenestration in this movie. She manages to get some sweet hits in on him, like a TV to the head and a machete to the hand, but Jason probably would have choked her to death if it wasn't for Tommy going all punk metal and using his makeup skills to trick Jason into a confused kind of vulnerability. Trish uses the opportunity to knock Jason's mask off, and then Tommy friggin' stabs him in the face, and then Jason falls and slides down onto the machete in his face. Oh, it looks a little silly, a little gruesome, and pretty freaking awesome. Just to make sure the job's done, Tommy goes ham on Jason in slow motion, telling him exactly what he wants him to do.
Stab that nigga until every limb on his body is gone, bro.
And becoming the first person to successfully kill Jason Voorhees. Because he actually is dead this time. I know, he'll be back, but he really is dead here. The movie ends on a triumphant note as Corey Feldman looks into the camera and reassures the audience he'll have a successful career his entire life. I'm sorry, enough joking around. Let's get to the numbers.
Oh, damn, he's at her.
Jason kills 13 people in Friday the 13th, the final chapter, 7 girls and 6 guys. He's in turn killed by Tommy, giving us a grand total of 14 deaths in this movie, evenly split among genders. At a runtime of 91 minutes, that's a death on average every 6.5 minutes, the current kill frequency champion. For coolest death, I'm gonna have to give the golden chainsaw to Jason himself, what with that 10 out of 10 face slide. Blameless goes to Mama Jarvis, it was entirely off screen, but at least she didn't go out screaming, "He's killing me, he's killing me." And that's it, folks. Friday the 13th, the final chapter, was released in 1984, sparing the world of a Friday the 13th in 1983, and they had such a good streak going. Next up, we'll be looking at Friday the 13th, A New Beginning, although that beginning doesn't really go anywhere since it ended up doing so poorly. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it, and until then, I'm James A. Janice. This has been The Kill Count. Hey guys, thanks a lot for watching.
I don't know, bro. They said that was the best one. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I'm probably gonna upload that. Probably will. Oh, I didn't hear that. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Listen, bro. Listen, you gotta let me rock, bro. My phone is dead. Let me rock. Cause honestly, it's fine. Cause I can just edit those parts out. Oh, look it up. No. That. I'm trying to think. Also, I gotta get a better keyboard. This shit's what was Jason's motivation? You know what? No, I mean, no, Jackson. I thought it said Jason. Oh, not Civil War. I guess the first 4 movies. Because we know it's for his mom originally. Yep. When in doubt, ChatGPT it out. Okay. All right. First movie, we already know that's is his mom. It's his mom because they let him drown. Boom. Second movie, I'd assume, yeah, this is the mother's death. So, oh, that makes more sense. It's this. That's why he didn't just stop after killing the final girl from the first movie, and he killed her in the second one. He killed everybody that came there. Okay, I got you. Because outsiders invade where he considers his territory by this point. Okay. So yeah, he's just doing this shit for no reason. All right. Okay. That sounds about right. What I was thinking in my head, to be honest. But yeah, I ain't have my phone's dead, so I couldn't really do that. But all right, chat. That'll probably get uploaded probably faster than the Spider-Man video, to be honest.